Sonido. Gracias.
Mic check. A little loud, a little lower. Yeah. Mic check, testing 1, 2. Is that okay? It's good? All right, we'll stay there. Sometimes I get excited and I talk kind of loud, so we'll keep it low. First and foremost, I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for the opportunity to be here today.
Antes que nada, quiero agradecer a nuestro Señor Jesucristo por darle la oportunidad de estar aquí el día de hoy.
And second, I want to thank the Mexican Association for having me here today. I think it's very, very important that we continue to use American breeder judges to evaluate your cattle.
Después de eso, también quiere agradecer mucho a la Asociación Brahman Mexicana por haberlo invitado y piensa que es muy importante el que sigan considerando el traer jueces americanos para juzgar el ganado aquí en México.
I think this is my third or fourth national show in Mexico to judge, and every year that I come, I see a big improvement in the cattle. They're doing a very good job.
Y menciona que es la tercera o la cuarta vez quizá que viene a hacer un juzgamiento nacional y cada vez que ha venido ha visto un gran mejoramiento genético en el ganado.
We're going to start here with the light color heifer, the white heifer in first place.
Vamos a comenzar como primer lugar con este ejemplar más blanco.
I think when you study this heifer, she's just really good, very correct in her feet and leg structure. She really takes a nice long step. She reaches when she walks around the arena. I like that about her.
Es un ejemplar que sin duda es el que está mejor posicionado en sus patas y pezuñas, y si ven su estructura ósea, al desplazarse se sigue perfectamente al caminar dentro de la pista.
She's a female. When you look at her, she's very feminine. She looks like a lady. When you look at her from the shoulders forward, she's got a very feminine, clean neck, a very feminine head.
Es una hembra muy femenina. Si le ven la inserción del cuello hacia los hombros, es muy limpia y nota ahí su feminidad, y todo su frente es supremamente femenino.
I like the hump placement and the hump design of this heifer. The hump sets in right above her shoulders. She's long and level down her top line.
Le gusta mucho su cadera, cómo baja su musculatura, cómo están posicionados sus corvejones y también cómo está posicionada a la altura de los hombros y cómo está su línea dorsal bastante fuerte.
She's very deep through her foreribs. She's deep through the middle portion of her body, and she's deep and soft out of that flank.
Es una hembra que tiene bastante buena profundidad en su costillar anterior, buena en su costillar intermedio y aún sigue profunda en el posterior, siendo equilibrada.
If I'm going to change her just a little bit, I'd like to give her a little more pigmentation right through her eyelashes and in through her muzzle and through her nose.
Si algo le gustaría cambiarle, simplemente sería darle un poquito más de pigmentación en lo que son los ojos y en la boca, en la mucerola.
The heifer we have that stands second, she's the one that has really good pigmentation, very black through her muzzle, a darker animal.
El ejemplar en segundo lugar es un ejemplar que está muy bien pigmentado en su parte anterior, tanto en los ojos como en la boca.
I think when you compare the heifer in second to the heifer in first, she's not quite as good right behind her hump. She's a little tighter in through her heart girth and through that forerib. I think if we can open her up just a little bit behind her shoulder, when you compare her to the first place heifer, I think it would just make her more attractive.
Si algo que pudiéramos compararle el segundo lugar contra el primer lugar sería simplemente verla un poquito más, con más profundidad detrás de la cuarta costilla, detrás de lo que le llamamos la cinchera, para que pudiera competir con el anterior.
But a very functional, very balanced female, very correct in her feet and legs.
Pero es una hembra muy funcional, muy correcta en sus patas y pezuñas.
Congratulations.
Felicidades para ambos criadores.
Gracias, señor juez. El primer lugar lo obtiene la placa número 3, el ejemplar de Criadero Lastra 315/1 de César Lastra Guajardo e hijos. Segundo lugar lo obtiene el ejemplar con la placa número 2, Princesa, con número económico 2337/1.
Sí, dos. Sí, dos es porque era, no se brició conmigo.
Ya estás. Gracias. Pásamelo. Sí, te lo traigo.
A la pista, los ejemplares que participan por el grupo número 2, placa 4, ejemplar 313/1, placa 5, ejemplar 312/1, placa 6, ejemplar 929/1.
Okay, good morning, everyone. This is Victoria Lambert, and I am here. We're going to do a little sound test to make sure we're all good. We just had that first class, and we had El Tare, Carlos Salcedo Gonzalez's entries, and also Criadora Lastra was in that last class. Now, our first place winner in that last class was Criadora Lastra, and want everyone to know that he had the high selling lot yesterday in the Brahman Selecto sale. So that was very, very exciting. Cesar Lastra's entry was a JDH Mr. Dover Manso 40 daughter. And of course, everyone will know that Dover Manso is the son of Elmo. And then on the bottom side, she was out of a JDH Sir Dixon Manso daughter, a Miss Criadora Lastra female. And second place, we can do that. We can do that. We're being told how far in the arena we can go. Hey, Mandy, how are you? Good to see you here. So we're going to put up our class winners. Mandy and Maciel are going to put up in the text our class winners, first and second, but they're just going to do a quick copy and paste if they can, guys. Whatever you can get up will work great. And then really interesting, in second place was, of course, is that pronounced El Tare, Iran?
Taray.
Tare. El Tare. There, ¿Cómo?
Taray.
Tairea.
Taray.
Tare. No.
Ta.
Ta.
Ray.
Rai. Tare.
No.
Ta. Don't laugh at me. Ta. Ra. No. Ta.
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 Ray.
Ta. Re.
Ray.
Rai.
Yes.
Ta. Rai. You should only see my face when I do this, guys. It's hysterical. So sorry. Oh, we sound good and the video is great. Awesome to know. Okay, so in second place, but that was going to be a Principe daughter. Principe de Siguacan, which of course is a JDH Carew Manso son. And then on the bottom side, that was going to be a JDH Mr. Dwayne Manso out of a JDH Mr. Dwayne Manso daughter. So that was first and second, and you can follow along with our catalog. So you can follow along with our catalog. Let us know where you're watching from and what you're seeing. So again, we'll be trying really hard to at least get our first place winners up into the comments. And when you give us a comment, make sure you let us know where you're watching from. We'll throw that up on the screen. So that was in our very first class. Now in our second class, we are looking at, this is going to be the group that is 11 months old, and you can see that in the top corner. So we're in the Ternera division. There'll be 3 classes of Ternera animals. Hey, Claudio, thanks for watching. ¿Dónde está? And then we have people watching from Bangladesh, it looks like, and Thailand also. Really glad to see our Thailand breeders watching with us. It is 9 o'clock at night there, I think. And we have Oud Ox, also. So really glad to see you guys watching with us. Let us know where you're watching from. So right now we're looking at entries from Criadora Lastra, San Jose, Criadora Lastra, and Rancho Adea. I don't know how to say that very well. I'm not so sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, we'll see how that works. Okay, so in this class right here, and I think the girls need to be around on the other side of the arena maybe. I would get on the other side of the arena for profiles, yeah. We're trying really hard to get stuff going, guys. So, we could bring you a bag and sit on the bag. We're just still trying to figure out where we are and what we're doing. And so Sassy, so glad that you are watching with us. Thank you so much. And Junior, thanks for watching with us. This is great, and from Thailand. So in the arena right now, as you can follow along with your catalog, and we put that up in the comments. We'll continue to put that up in the comments. We have the lovely Mandy Chambers McDermott there in Texas, working hard for us and with us. And then we also have Maciel in Nicaragua helping. And like I said, we're going to try to get those. And you're watching from Nicaragua, also El Tamarindo and Ganaderia El Tamarindo. Hope I'm saying that right. When I'm not, I am so sorry. And Ganaderia Anthony Bella, thank you for watching. There we go. You guys are, do I not have the most awesome team on the face of the earth? There we have our our first class 1 winner right up there in the comments, so you can go search that later also. I think this is just great. Thank you guys so much. So right now we have Judd Colors in the arena with us, Judd Colors in the arena. And I do think that'll work perfect. One person on one side, one person on the other side. That way you can grab them either way you go, you know? So really, really good. Thanks, guys, for watching. Did we throw that up on the screen? We have Class 1 and Class 1 first. That was Class 1 first place. And then, of course, we have Class 1 second place also. So thank you guys for doing that for me back there at the office. Really, really appreciate it. The very beginning is always a little hard. We have a question here. No clue what that means. Oh, gotcha. Okay, we were having a little question about how we are handling things. So, there we go. All right, looks like we're going to have a winner. It looks like number 6 is going to be in first. That is going to be Marco Barba, San Jose there in Chiapas. That is going to be a Riley Abolingo. Let's listen to the judge.
Con una calidad en este grupo de animales, todas del principio a fin con gran calidad.
I think when you study these females, you have to ask yourself, where do you want to put your emphasis? And when I breed cattle, I put my emphasis on functionality, which is structure, muscling, and reproduction.
Yo creo que lo primero que se tienen que preguntar cuando están viendo sus animales, sus terneras, es qué es donde quieren poner más énfasis. Para él, el énfasis está en la funcionalidad, está en la estructura y está en la reproducción.
The female that wins the class, she's certainly not the largest heifer in the class, nor is she the longest female. But I think when you look at her, she's a female that really balances up.
Menciona que el ejemplar que pone en primer lugar quizá no es la más larga ni la de mayor talla en todo el grupo, pero sin duda es la que mejor balance muestra.
She's a heifer that has very nice hoof design. She stands on a big circumference of bone.
Es la que tiene mejor patas, se para con una mejor circunferencia en su hueso.
She's so smooth and elegant from her shoulders forward, very feminine.
Es muy suave y muy elegante en sus hombros y en su cuello. Es muy elegante, muy suave y femenina al frente.
Really a female that's tremendous down her top line. Not only is she straight and level, but she's wide. She has a lot of width through her back, through her loin, and out of her rump.
Y es una hembra que tiene muy buen lomo, no simplemente que es muy recto, también que es muy amplio. Es amplio en la parte de su espalda, en la parte de su lomo y en la parte de su cadera.
The heifer that stands in second place is a larger frame heifer that I like very much.
El ejemplar en segundo lugar es un ejemplar que es de mayor talla, lo cual le gusta mucho.
I think this female's at an age right now where she's a little unbalanced. I think she's a female that's probably in a growth curve right now. She's not quite as nice right in behind her shoulders as the heifer in first, nor does she have the overall natural muscle and thickness of our heifer in first.
Menciono que sin duda el ejemplar en segundo lugar es un ejemplar que quizá está en la curva de crecimiento, donde no se muestran bien sus características. Está muy buen tamaño, con buena musculatura, pero no tiene el balance funcional que muestra la del primer lugar.
I like the length and I like the femininity of the heifer in third place.
Le gusta la longitud y la feminidad del ejemplar en tercer lugar.
I'd like to just see her with more depth of body, more spring of ribs when you compare her to the heifer in first and second.
Simplemente le gustaría verla con un poquito más de profundidad de costilla y más profundidad de cuerpo comparada con las de los dos primeros lugares.
The heifer standing fourth is one that's a really long-bodied female. She stands on good substance of bone, very good pigmentation.
El ejemplar en cuarto lugar es un ejemplar que tiene muy buena sustancia de hueso y con muy buena pigmentación.
I'd like to change her right over her rump, where her tail head ties into her body. I'd like to make her a little more level and just give her more strength. When you stand right behind this heifer, she's a little narrow-based.
Simplemente le gustaría mejorarle un poquito lo que viene siendo su cadera, que fuera un poquito más amplia para que no se le vea angosta y darle un poquito mayor de fortaleza en esa parte de la grupa.
Real pretty female standing in fourth and fifth place. One that's more moderate, actually. She's a female that's more in line with the size of my first place female. I just see her having a little too much shoulder for my taste. I just like to make the angulation of her shoulder a little smoother. Maybe just dial her down a little bit in condition. She's got a little extra fat, a little extra condition for her age. I think if we could change that, we'd probably move her up in the lineup.
Y el ejemplar en quinto lugar es un ejemplar que le gusta mucho la talla moderada que muestra, como la que fue el primer lugar, pero le gustaría verla en un poquito más de limpieza a la altura de los hombros, que fuera más moderada esa musculatura en esa parte, y de la misma manera un poquito de menos condición corporal para poderla mover un poco más adelante en la clase.
Congratulations.
Felicidades para todos los creadores.
Muchas gracias, señor juez. Resultados para el grupo.
Okay, everybody, thank you so much for watching. We have Rancho San Juan watching, and Sabath watching, and Jose Manuel Garcia. Thank you so much for watching. Let us know where you're watching from and what you think about the cattle. So we just had class number 2. That was class number 2, and our winner was going to be the Marco Barba entry of San Jose. That is going to be a Riley. I think it's Abolingo's son. I'm sorry, daughter, which is so the sire was a San Jose bred bull, and on the bottom side, out of a Cassandra daughter, a daughter of Mr. V8-994/7. Let me get in my groove here. So we have this first place winner was a Riley daughter out of a daughter of Mr. V8-994/7. And then in second place, we had the entry of Cesar Lastra. Cesar Lastra, again, he had a really Criador Lastra. And then he had a really big day yesterday with the sale, topping the sale over 500,000 pesos. Again, that's going to be a Dover daughter out of a Dixon daughter. And if I'm correct, yes, interestingly enough, yes, okay, our first place in the first class and our second place in the first class were full siblings. Watching from Florida, thank you, Daniel, for watching from Florida. We really appreciate you watching with us. So that was a very exciting class. We had our first place again was San Jose, Marco Barba. And in second place, we had our Criador Lastra, Cesar Lastra female. We're going to be doing all the gray females all day today. I'm not sure if our camera angle is really great here. We're working hard to try to get good camera angles. We do have that third camera. Did we ever, that's on the ground over there. Did we ever get that one hooked up? Oh, that's really cool. I'm liking that. I like that angle, don't you? Looking very good. Okay, very excited. All right, we are on class number 3, and then we're going to go into the championship drive. Class number 3, and then we'll be going into the championship drive. So this is class 3. We're going to have Tovar Talon, and I am such good friends with him, but I cannot say that. Tovar Talon, do you think? Tovar Talon?
Tobartlan.
Tovartlon. Tovartlon. Got to say it with that accent. Okay, so we have Tovartlon's entry. We have Ruben Garcia Osorio. We have Carlos Salcedo Gonzalez, Ganaderia El Palmar, and Pascual Belisa Roschi. So, Finca de la Italiana. I can say that a little bit better. Finca la Italiana. So, those are the entries that are in this class. And I do have some notes that a few people passed along to me. Let me see if I can get some little notes that I had. So really glad you guys are watching. Birds Home, thank you for watching. And these, okay, do we have the correct months? These are actually, okay, so Daniel is asking a question. Very good question, Daniel. These were the 10 to the 12-month-old heifers. So class 1 was 10, class 2 was 11, and class 3 are the 12-month-old heifers that we're looking at right here. Hey, Mohammed, glad you are watching. We have Valentin in Honduras watching. Thank you so much for watching with us. This is really great. Really appreciate all of our fans watching. Make sure you let us know where you're watching from, and let us know what you think about the cattle here in Mexico. We are here. This is our National Cebu show, and it is here in Guadalajara, Jalisco, and we have Judd Colors, a Heritage Cattle Company, in the arena as the judge. And of course, we have to say thank you to our sponsors. We'll be running through those sponsors the whole time, but we really want to say thank you to our wonderful sponsors. They are sponsoring us to be here in the arena and have free photos and doing all of this great live streaming. So we have Elgin Breeding Service. We're getting a question about, do they need to be logged into Switcher? Okay, so here we go. And there you go. Thank you so much, Brahman Journal team back at home. That is so awesome that they are sharing the program so you guys can watch. And you're watching from Costa Rica, Rancho Rio Angel. We were just in Costa Rica for the Expica. It was just a wonderful event. This is class number 3, and then we're going to go into the Ternera Championship. This is a great class. Look at these really, really beautiful females. If we can move our camera around just a little bit, going from the top to the bottom, I think we can probably get that. So at the top, the very first animal that was walked in was the Tovar Talon entry, and that's going to be a Mr. Peyton daughter out of a Mr. V8 901/4 daughter. And then we have Ruben Garcia of Ganaderia Montebello, and that is going to be a JDH Oscar Manso daughter out of a daughter of JDH Woodson. So that's that second female that Judd Colors is walking by right now as he is judging. And then we have in the third spot right here in the middle, we're going to have Carlos Salcedo Gonzalez. That is going to be El Taray. Oh, I did it. Taray. El Taray. Perfect. El Taray. Getting some questions on our WhatsApp there. And that is going to be a Chapapote 616 daughter, which of course he is a JDH Sir Corona Manso. And then on the bottom side, it is going to be a Mr. H Adelaide. And I think I have some information in my notes about some of these animals, which is pretty exciting, really exciting stuff. This is, let's see. No, I don't have anything about this particular female. And thank you guys for watching. We have Julio, like we said, watching from Costa Rica, Rancho Rio Angel. And then we have Efran, Obed, and Ramon. And so everybody, let us know where you're watching from and what you think about the show. We really appreciate everyone who's watching and where you're watching from. We'll throw you up on the screen and let everyone know how much you love the cattle show. And look, here we have Manuel Amperon. Manuel, thank you so much for watching with us. We wish you were here. Maybe you'll come to Tuxtla with us. We'll be in Tuxtla in December. So Manuel Amperon, good friend, really does such an awesome job with everything. We don't, Danielle, know their weight. So Danielle asked us a really good question. I don't think, do we have their weights on here, Ron? Do we have their weights on our, do we have the weight of the cattle on here? On our catalog? No, I don't think we do, Daniel. I don't think that we do. And we don't have the parameters that they have to fit in either, I don't think. Oh, yes. Okay, there is data here. Okay, so this is what their weight is, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so we do have their data. So, all right, these heifers, these are, so Daniel asked that question. That was a really good question, Daniel. These heifers, these are 12-month-old heifers, and they're running anywhere from 353 kilograms all the way to 410 kilograms, depending upon where they are in the class. So our very first female that had entered the class, that was placard number 11. She weighed 374 kilograms. And I will run through those because I've never been asked that question. So that is really awesome. I think we still have some questions going on there. So from the group. There you go. Perfect. Awesome. Eduardo, thank you for watching. Mohammed, where are you watching from? Thank you. And let's listen to the judge.
In the type and the size of these heifers in this particular class.
Otro muy buen grupo de hembras Brahman. Aquí vemos un poquito más de diferencias desde el principio hasta el final de la clase en tipo y clase de animales.
I think whenever I stand back and I look at these females in this class, the heifer we have in first and second, I think that they pair up really well. Both of these females are extremely feminine. They're smooth through their shoulders. They're long and extended out of their neck. Just really nice females.
Sin duda, de donde veamos, vamos a encontrar que los dos ejemplares que están en primero y segundo lugar son ejemplares que son muy similares entre sí. Son muy limpios en el cuello, son muy largos en el cuello, limpios en los hombros, largos en el cuerpo y con buenas patas y pezuñas.
I think where the heifer in first goes over the heifer in second is when you step right behind her. She's a little bit wider through the center portion of her hindquarters when you compare her to the heifer standing in second.
Y sin duda la ventaja de la primera sobre la segunda es cuando la ves en la parte posterior del animal. La anchura de la grupa y la nalga y esa musculatura es mejor que la del segundo lugar.
A larger frame female stands third, extremely long, stands on good bone, good muscle female.
Un ejemplar con muy buen desarrollo en tercer lugar, con muy buen desarrollo de musculatura y también con muy buen hueso.
I'd like to change this heifer a little bit when you walk her around the arena. I'd like to change her off of her back legs, make her take a long extended step when you compare her to the heifer in first and second.
Si algo le gustaría mejorar en ese ejemplar sería la manera en que como se desplaza en su tren posterior, que desplazara un poquito más larga su tracción trasera para que fuera mejor como la del primero y segundo lugar.
The heifer standing in fourth place is one that I really like, the capacity and rib shape, the pigmentation and the muscle.
El ejemplar en cuarto lugar le gusta mucho por la capacidad, musculatura, pigmentación y en su conformación general.
She gets a little bit shorter in her neck for me. She gets a little heavier in her shoulders. I just like to see a little more feminine quality in this female to place her any higher in this class.
Pero le gustaría verla mucho más femenina al frente, más largo su cuello, más limpio sus hombros, para que pudiera competir con las anteriores.
Really nice, very practical, very functional female comes next. She's one that's really long-sided. I think if we can select a bull for her and just give her more body shape and more ribs and more muscle, I think she can make a really nice cow.
Y un ejemplar muy atractivo en el sexto lugar, simplemente le gustaría en ella verla con más capacidad, fortaleza, musculatura, profundidad, para cual escogería un toro que diera estas características para poder competir contra más adelante en el grupo.
Congratulations on this.
Felicidades para los creadores.
Gracias, señor juez. El primer lugar lo obtiene el ejemplar con la placa 14, El Palmar 800/1 de Ganadería El Palmar. Segundo lugar, placa número 12, Miss Montebello 2345/1 de Rubén García Osorio. Tercer lugar. Se va a llevar a cabo el juzgamiento del Campeonato Ternera, por lo que tenemos en la pista a los primeros lugares de los grupos 1, 2 y 3, con las placas 3, 6 y 14.
Okay, so in this class, in this championship drive, and unfortunately I am without a camera person, so I am doing this by myself, all solo guys. For the moment, we are going to have class number 1 winner is the Creadora Lastra. Creadora Lastra entry, that's going to be the JDH Dover Manso daughter, and in class number 2. Get up there. Can you handle that? Yeah, that would be great. In class number 2, we're going to find that class number 2 winner. Our class number 2 winner is going to be the entry of San Jose, Marco Barber's entry right there up on the screen. That's going to be a Riley Obalengo daughter. And then on class number, that was our second place. That one will be coming in for reserve championship consideration possibly. And then our class number 3 winner was the FBCO Palmar. Again, that was a Mr. BA 191/7. Of course, is an Avery son. And then on the bottom side, it's going to be a JDH Calixto Manso. So those are your cattle that are in for consideration for championship consideration here in the arena. And you can't hear me. Great. Probably would help if I hadn't taken my jacket off and put the camera and put the microphone on my jacket. What you need?
Connect this.
Okay, we're going to go connect the camera. We're doing a lot of things at once. And see if we can get this other camera. And oh, right, I think we are cooking with oil now. Okay, we were just talking about all our first place class winners. And so we have, and then we also have our second place class winners. Yes? Try to move it? Okay. Yep, it works. No, wait, wrong camera. What is it this camera? No, yeah, it's that camera, yeah. Okay, it works. Sorry guys, it's always interesting and fun when we very first start because it's like, whoa, we never know what's gonna happen. Now the sound is good, thank you. And thank you, Daniel, thank you so much. And Dean, thank you. We were having some problems. I had taken my jacket off. I'd gotten a little hot. There you go. So as we are talking about, we are in here for our Ternera Championship. This is our Ternera Championship that we're looking at, and we're looking at our class winners. We're going to run through those class winners real quick for you guys so you can see who they are. We're going to take our wonderful sponsors off there for just a momentito. And of course, we really couldn't do this without our great sponsors. And then we have our Class 2 winner was the Mercedes animal. That's going to be Marco Barba San Jose. And that is going to be Abolingo, Riley Abolingo daughter. And then in our class number 3, we had, oops, that was our second place. Here's our first place. Our first place was, of course, the El Palmar entry. That's going to be, and of course, Manuel Ampron will probably be interested to know, that's going to be a Mr. V8 191/7. Iran, are you okay? I took my jacket off and had my, you ran all the way. Iran ran the whole way. So yeah, there we go. We are excited. Let's go ahead and get our logos back on there of our awesome, awesome sponsors. Our awesome sponsors are Elgin Breeding Service. We could not do this without them. They are such an awesome sponsor. They're always with us at every single event. Thank you, thank you, thank you to Hillary. If you're looking for some place to get your bull collected, that is a spectacular place to do that. And we kind of have a camera in part of our camera. There you go. Awesome. And then, of course, thank you, Ganaderia El Tamarindo. Thank you for saying we're doing a great job. We really appreciate that. Glad that you're here with us. And then, of course, we have Hudgens. Oops, let's listen to the
Our division champion. I think when you look from the youngest down to the oldest, you see a lot of quality, a lot of symmetry between the youngest female and the oldest female.
Menciona, señor juez, que va a trabajar con los 3 ejemplares que fueron primeros lugares en cada uno de sus grupos. Las hembras se acomodó de la más joven a la más adulta.
That youngest female on the end, she came out of a class that only had 2 in that class. But we talked about her having a really good hump placement, very feminine qualities, very balanced heifer.
El ejemplar que está al frente es un ejemplar que solamente entró en un grupo con 2 animales, pero es muy femenina al frente, es muy balanceada y con mucho potencial, mucho poder.
The heifer that came the second class, that was a real deep class. There was a lot of quality in that class. Again, she was not the biggest one or the longest one, but she's one in my mind that just balanced up really well from her forerib through the center portion of her body and through that flank. I think she's just a tremendous female, really wide and expressive down her top line, through her back and her loin and her hip.
El ejemplar que está al centro del segundo grupo es un ejemplar que entró en un grupo muy nutrido. Es un ejemplar que le recuerda bastante bien cómo mencionó su profundidad en su costilla, en su cuarta costilla, en el costillar medio y en el flanco, que permanece con esa musculatura a la vez en toda su línea dorsal, desde lo que viene siendo su lomo, su parte posterior y su cadera y su grupa, y con muy buena conformación y bastante funcionalidad.
Really, really good female comes in our oldest class. One that when you look at her compared to the younger one, she's a really long-bodied female. She doesn't have the overall condition and maybe natural muscle as the 2 in front of her, but she's a very functional, very comfortable female when you ask her to move around the arena.
El ejemplar que está en el tercer grupo es un ejemplar que sí es de mayor talla, que no tiene la musculatura ni la profundidad que tienen las 2 anteriores, pero si se fijaron es la que es muy, muy funcional al desplazarse dentro de la pista. Tiene una estructura funcional bastante agradable.
Let's give these exhibitors a big round of applause. I'll show you the champion today.
Démosles un fuerte aplauso y seleccionará la campeona Becerra.
Okay, and we have a winner. We have a winner. That was the class winner out of class number 2. Class number 2's winner was our good friend Marco Barba, and that is going to be the Riley Abolingo daughter, which is a JDH Riley DeManso son. And then on the bottom side is going to be a Mr. V8 994/7. So that was our Ternera championship. So coming in for reserve consideration is going to be Cesar Lastra. Now, interestingly, let's look at this. Our second place, I believe, is going to be a full sibling to the first place in the first class. So if you look at the, let's listen to the.
Dentro de su clase.
She's one that's really long-bodied, very feminine in her makeup, just a nice balanced female.
Es un ejemplar con muy largo cuerpo, muy bien balanceada y un ejemplar bastante atractivo.
In my mind, I think it gets a little bit closer in terms of placing between the youngest female and the heifer right in the middle. I'll have one more look and I'll select our reserve calf champion.
A su punto de vista, hay una colocación más cercana en cuanto a calificación se refiere a la que está al frente con la que acaba de entrar. Ahora se seleccionará la campeona ternera reservada.
And interestingly enough, I believe the number 3 and number 4 were full siblings. So number 3 is the reserve champion. Number 3 is the reserve champion out of that youngest class. And that is going to be the Corredor Lastra. That's going to be a JDH Mr. Dover Manso. And that is out of a JDH Sir Dixon Manso daughter. So really great judging here. We have Judd Colors in the arena with us, and we have our champion and our reserve champion. Okay, again, we want to say thank you to everyone for watching. We have, of course, Manuel Ampron wishing well to Ganaderia San Jose, and really fun. We had some people up here watching from Colombia and all over the world, so very much really appreciate you guys watching. We think that the cattle look great too. And there is, Mandy just reminded me, there is a great cattle article in the October edition of the magazine about Elgin Breeding Service. So that is really, really great. And of course, you can check that catalog. We have Ed Colors and Francis Colors watching with us. That is going to be Judd Colors' mom and dad. And we're in the arena with the Becerra. You're going to have to change all of those then, because they're all like that, if you're moving them over to the other side. So we have the Becerra. This is going to be our very first class of Becerra. And the girls are going to be getting me the text for that. Actually, we don't even need that for the text for the champion. So again, our champion guys, I just need to scroll back in here. Our champion was out of class number 2. Our champion in that very first division was out of class number 2, and our reserve champion was out of class number 1. So those are the stats there. And again, thank you to all our sponsors. We have Rancho Chapapote. You need to know what they're feeding them. Daniel, I don't know. And Ramundo, thank you for watching. Daniel, I have no clue what they're feeding them. But let's talk about weights, because Daniel was very interested in that. So I'll get you some weights on these heifers here that are in the arena. This is a fairly large class. So Judd Colors, our judge. And actually, guys, Judd Colors is going to be the judge at Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. And it looks like we have a really long, there we go, our camera angle. So in the arena right now, we have Roger Gonzalez, Las Paritas, and we have El Taray. El Taray. Carlos Salcedo Gonzalez's entry. We also have Javier Barajas of Santa Fe. We have 2 entries. And then we have Javier Sanchez de la Mora of Santo Domingo, and he also has another entry. And then you can follow along with your catalog, guys, and then the Buena Vista entry. We're looking at weights anywhere from the lightest animal is placard number 18 at 341 kilograms, and our heaviest animal is going to be the placard 20 at 443 kilograms. So these are animals that are going to be 13 months old, 13 months old. And as we said, we do have a little bit of information about some of these animals. We are going to have in for, let's see if I have any information on that one. I just don't. So in our, we're getting ready to walk them now. Our very first entry is going to be a RGG Maximo daughter, which of course he is a Carew Manso son, and then on the bottom side out of a Criadora Lastra female. That second entry is going to be a JDH Clanton DeManso, and of course JDH is one of our sponsors here, so thank you so much, and greetings from Saudi Arabia. So glad you're watching from Saudi Arabia. That is just awesome, awesome, awesome. So the second animal is going to be a Clanton DeManso daughter out of Lady H. Grace Manso, which is a JDH Mr. Dwayne Manso daughter. And then our third entry is going to be a Mr. Principe daughter, which of course is a Becton son, and she is out of Miss Santa Fe, which is a JDH Mr. Brandon Manso daughter. Then that next entry is going to be a Woodson daughter, and then on the bottom side out of a JDH Mr. Manso daughter. And then our next to last entry is again another Woodson daughter, and out of a JDH Mr. Manso. I think those two are going to be full siblings. So placard 19, placard 20, the last, the animal branded, you can probably see from this side with the 192 and the 194. They look like they're going to be full siblings. And then coming in at the end of the class is the JDH Sir Anderson Manso daughter, and that is a Miss Buena Vista daughter, and that is a Mach Holiday Cherry sired female. So we have quite a few really great cattle in here. And again, we want to thank our sponsors, and we want you to know that all you have to do is click on that link and you can watch the program and you can follow along with us. Jorge Diaz is watching us online. Thank you so much for watching. I think I saw you here yesterday. So felicidades con su subastas. La subasta es muy bueno ayer. We had a really great auction yesterday, didn't we? So thank you, Jorge Diaz of Rancho Santa Fe, for watching with us online. We really appreciate that. Let us know where you're watching from and what you think of the cattle. Again, our sponsors could not do it without them. That is Elgin Breeding Service, JDH Hudgens. We also have Chapapote and Rio Ranch. Rio Ranch has a super fun, awesome event that will happen March 4th. I'm going to ask Mandy to check me on my dates. I believe it's March 4th at Rio Ranch, the day after the judging in Houston. So be there or be square. So hola, Jorge, su vacas es muy bonita ayer. Mi español no es muy bueno, pero a mí me gusta su vacas. And let's listen.
In first and second, I think they really match up well, both high-quality females.
Sin duda tenemos otro muy buen grupo, muy nutrido de hembras, sin duda 2 o 3 que son superiores a los demás.
I think the placing is pretty close between the first and second place female. I just like the extension of the front end of that heifer standing in first. From her shoulders forward, she's just more elegant. She's one that's more feminine, thinner through her. She's also a female that travels better off of her hind legs when you compare her to the heifer standing in second.
Sin duda una calificación muy cercana entre el primero y el segundo lugar. Le gusta mucho el primer lugar, que es un ejemplar mucho más femenino, más largo en su cuello, más limpio de sus hombros, y también se desplaza mejor en sus cuartos posteriores.
Like the overall capacity and rib shape and muscle of the heifer standing in second. Just like to make her a little more flexible off those hind legs, particularly in that hot. She gets a little straighter off of her hind legs, and then give her more extension from her shoulders forward. She gets a little shorter in through that neck, a little more of a bull look. I just like to see her more feminine from her shoulders forward.
La del segundo lugar es un ejemplar muy similar al primero, con mucha musculatura, mucha capacidad, mucha profundidad, pero le gustaría verlo con un poquito más de flexibilidad, especialmente a la altura de los corvejones y cómo mueve su tren posterior, y además de eso con un poquito más longitud, más femenino en su cuello, para que también fuera más limpia en sus hombros.
Real functional, balanced female comes in third. One that you'd like to change her on her top line, right behind her hump. She gets a little bit weaker there. I'd like to give her more strength down her top line. Just give her some added muscle when you compare her to the heifer in first and second.
El ejemplar en tercer lugar, un ejemplar muy bien balanceado con buena estructura, simplemente le gustaría mejorarle un poquito el lomo donde inserta detrás de la jiba para que fuera más fortaleza en su línea dorsal y con un poquito más de musculatura y profundidad para competir con las dos anteriores.
Nice heifer, comes in fourth place, very functional, very balanced, good pigmentation. Again, like to just see her a little more feminine from her shoulders forward. She gets a little bit tight, she's a little shorter in her neck. I just like to give her more feminine qualities.
Un ejemplar con buen balance y funcionalidad en el cuarto lugar, simplemente le gustaría verlo con un poquito más de feminidad, balance y limpieza en el tren anterior, lo que es los hombros hacia el cuello para que fuera más femenina.
And the heifer standing in fourth, very moderate female, very functional, just need to see more muscle mass, more rib shape.
La del quinto lugar, muy funcional, simplemente necesita verla con más profundidad, más capacidad, más musculatura para ver contra los anteriores.
Really tall, very extreme female comes in next. She's just a little too tall for me. I just like to see her with more body, more capacity to compete higher in this class.
El ejemplar más grande en el sexto lugar, simplemente le gustaría verlo para esta talla con más profundidad y más capacidad y musculatura para competir contra los anteriores.
Congratulations.
Felicidades para los creadores.
Gracias, señor juez. Para el cuarto grupo, el primer lugar lo obtiene la placa 19, Miss Carmelita 192/21 de Javier Sánchez de la Mora. Segundo lugar, la placa número 20, Miss Isabel 194/21 de Javier Sánchez de la Mora. Placa 10.
I am back. You get to listen to me now. Thank you guys for watching from Saudi Arabia. I think that's so cool. So let's talk about who we just had win. We had in our first place, and really interesting, guys, I find this super interesting. Look at Class 4's winner. I think that's really interesting. I'm not really sure why we have all that on there too. And then the second place was bred the same way. So they're both going to be Santo Domingo owned females. They're both JDH Woodson Demanso daughters, and they are both out of, it looks like the exact, yep, they were full siblings. So of course, the judge does not know this, but they are full siblings. So I think that is super cool. He doesn't have that information. And again, those were our 14-month-old, I'm sorry, those were our 13-month-old females there in class number 4. So again, want to thank our sponsors, of course, because we have Rancho Chapapote, and we have Elgin Breeding Service, Hudgens, JDH. Hudgens really needs no introduction. Clay Hudgens is here if anybody wants to visit with him here while he is here. And then, of course, Rio Ranch. And we're going to ask somebody to get me some information about that Rio Ranch, the Rio Ranch event. I believe, hey, Carlos, thanks for watching with us. Let us know where you guys are watching from and what you think of the show. So I'm going to try to look up Rio Ranch. Is one of our sponsors. They have a ranch right there in Hempstead, close to the Brahmin Journal office. And they are going to be having a really great field day. Very excited about that event. And that is going to be the March 2023. The Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo will be March 2nd and 3rd for the judging. 2nd and 3rd. And the Rio Ranch event, their Rio Ranch Field Day. We'll have cattle and horses and just be a great event. It starts at 4 p.m. and that is Saturday, March 4th. So make sure you mark your calendars for that. Saturday, March 4th, 2023. It'll be after the bull judging. The bull judging is March 3rd. We'll get some of those dates up there, and of course you can always go to BrahmanEvent.com. Maybe we can throw that up in the comments also, BrahmanEvent.com, and you can go there to see all the really great Brahman events around the world. And Kevin, thank you for watching with us. And Janet, thank you for watching from Ashdown, Arkansas. You know, we have Gannon here in the arena with us, And Gannon is also from Arkansas, not sure what part. And thank you so much for putting that up. So Rio Ranch Brahman and Equine Social will be March 4th, 2023. That is the day after the bull judging at Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. So in this class, we're going to be looking at entries from a lot of different breeders. And of course, we have in that very first spot, the very first one entering in. Good morning, Bert Clem. How are you doing? We love Bert Clem. Bert, you should be here with us. They have had some great Indo-Brazil and Gujarat and Gear and really some great cattle. And if you're looking for some really pretty cattle, Bert Clem is a great person to go visit with. Sorry, we just had someone get up in our space on the with a camera. Anyway, I would love it if we could get some security here so that, like, we have a little bit more. There you go. You can trade your camera with me. No problem. Okay, so Marco has an entry here, and the lovely Miss Alyssa, we just traded off on cameras. Just got to trade off on the cameras. And Marco Barba has the very first entry, so that's going to be the very first one walking that you're watching walk. So you guys are watching them walk, and that's going to be a JDH Sir Ernest Manso daughter. Then the very second one is going to be a Ganaderia Rosa del Alba. That's going to be a Laureano's daughter. Laureano, of course, is the two-time national champion here in Mexico. Then coming in with placard number 24, we're going to have the I don't know how to say this, Jaime Valencia's entry, and that's going to be a JDH Sir Dewey Manso daughter. Then we're going to have the Ganaderia Uberaba. That is this beautiful female right in front of me. That's going to be a JDH Mr. Fulton Manso daughter. We're going to have Cesar Lastra's entry, which is a Woodman out of the same, oh wow, that's going to be bred the same way as that reserve champion in that Becerra division. Then we're going to go to Las Prietas, and that is going to be a Mr. Caposo Coro. And then we go down to El Vergal. That's going to be a by a bull of Marco Barba's. I can tell by the prefix. And then Marco Antonio of Brahman Mexico Centro and Tabasco has that very last female, and that's going to be a JDH Carew Manso daughter. So some really great genetics here. We're looking at weights anywhere from the lightest one in this class is 392 kilograms, and the heaviest one in this class is going to be 484 kilograms. So thank you guys so much for watching with us. Really appreciate it. And so we were talking about Clem Ranch, and when we got kind of a little bit sidetracked there, but Bert Clem has some great Cebu genetics there that he's had for years, and his father bred them before. So Clem Ranch, he does some auctions with us on best cattle sales. Ganaderia El Tamarindo, thank you again for popping back in with us. And we are in class number, this is group number 5, and it's going to be the 14-month-old. Jose Manuel Garcia, glad you're watching with us. And we have just a really great team here for the Becerra and the whole show. We have Iran is on the camera here with me. We have Alyssa and Brandolin in the arena. Hey, Casey, glad to see you watching. Casey Schulte of Schulte Cattle Company just joined us. We're showing the gray. And Casey, we are on class number 5, and this is going to be our 14-month-old females. We were just talking about their weights too, going anywhere from 392 kilograms to 484 kilograms. Fernando, thank you for watching. And Casey, just so you know, in case you hadn't heard, Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo this year, I know you know, will be the 2nd and 3rd of March. But mark your calendar for the Rio Ranch, and that's right there kind of close to Casey's. Casey's out there in Brenham, and Rio Ranch is in Hempstead, Texas, not far from Houston. And they're going to have an equine and Brahman social March 4th of 2023. And we'd like to thank, of course, Rio Ranch, who has just some really awesome Brahman genetics that you can go see. So we want to thank Rio Ranch for being one of our sponsors here. And of course, also Chapapote, Rancho Chapapote. Now, Chapapote, they had a great sale yesterday also. We did our sale yesterday. The Brahman Selecto sale was live and online. We were really excited about how well it went. The cattle sold very well. I believe our high seller, Ron, was Cesar Lastras for 500 and some odd thousand pesos, which ended up being about $27,000. So he had a really great sale. He was very happy. Primo Castillo had cattle in the sale, and we really appreciate the Brahman Selecto group for having us at their sale. It looks like the judge is making a decision, and this is going to be Judd Colors is the judge. I know that Ed and Francis back home are watching probably, and of course we had Janet is watching from Arkansas, so thanks for watching. And Judd Colors is in the arena. Judd will also be our judge at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. So really glad they brought him here. And Odell in Nicaragua. Really miss seeing you in Nicaragua. We're going to have placard number 20. And in second, it looks like we're going to have number 22.
I think we have a real individual to start the class.
Tenemos un individuo muy fuerte para comenzar con esta clase, con este grupo.
Here's a heifer. When you look at her from the ground up, she's very sound. I like her movement. I like the base width of this female.
Este ejemplar menciona que si ustedes lo ven desde el piso hacia arriba, es un ejemplar que tiene muy bien su conformación, muy bien alineado y muy bien balanceado.
She's a female that's very long from her nose to her tail, really nice and level down her top line, tremendous amount of muscle shape.
Es un ejemplar muy largo desde la punta de la nariz hasta la punta de la cola, con muy buena línea dorsal y con muy buena musculatura.
If we're going to change her just a little, I'd like to just make her a little shorter in her navel, but there's a lot of really good bulls we can use to improve that. I just think she's so good everywhere else, she has to win the class.
Si algo le gustaría cambiarle, solamente sería recogerle un poco el ombligo, pero hay varios toros que puede trabajar con eso, pero es un excelente ejemplar que utilizaría.
Real nice, medium size, kind of a smaller frame type female comes in second place, but one you really have to like her balance and the smoothness of this heifer.
Un ejemplar más balanceado, el de segundo lugar, con una talla, más moderada, pero con bastante profundidad y musculatura.
I think if I could see this female in a little larger package, more like the heifer in first, I think she easily wins the class. But for me, she gets a little bit small when you compare her to her contemporaries out here. Just like to give her an added frame size.
Es un ejemplar que le gustaría verlo con un poquito más de talla, de tamaño, para poderlo poner más adelante en la clase. Simplemente es un ejemplar que está muy, muy bien conformado, pero le falta ese desarrollo en cuanto a talla se refiere para competir más adelante.
Here's a heifer standing in third that's a really nice female. She's a female that looks a lot better when you have her in motion than she does standing. Sometimes when the gentleman has her standing still, she wants to break a little bit right behind her hump and go down right there in that back. Just like to give her more strength in that top line, give her more rib shape when you compare her to the heifer in first and second.
El ejemplar en tercer lugar es un ejemplar que se desplaza y se ve mucho mejor cuando está caminando, cuando está desplazando, que como lo ven ahora. Es un ejemplar que se quebra un poco el lomo detrás de la jiba cuando está parada, pero le gustaría verla también con un poquito más de profundidad en su costilla anterior para competir contra los primeros lugares.
The heifer that comes in fourth place, this is a heifer with a lot of volume, a lot of capacity.
El ejemplar en cuarto lugar es un ejemplar con mucho volumen y con mucha capacidad.
We're going to change her just a little bit. I'd like to change the way she moves off of her rear legs. She's not quite as comfortable in her movement as the heifers that stand in front of her.
Este ejemplar le gustaría verlo simplemente que se desplazara mejor en su tren posterior, que fuera más atlética, que se desplazara mejor para competir contra los anteriores.
And I'd just like to change her overall color of this female. Been a breeder really a long time, and I'm not a big fan of this color in a gray show. She's a good female, she's a good breeding piece, but I like to see my gray cattle white to gray, and I just don't like that pink color in the gray show.
Y como creador, a él le gustaría verlo con un poquito más de definición de color, más hacia el lado blanco, hacia el lado gris, para competir en esta clase. Es atractivo el ejemplar, pero le gustaría verlo en un color más acercado al Brahman gris.
The heifer that comes in 5th place, this is a nice female. She's one that probably gets a little heavy in her shoulders. Her hump's a little small and kind of wants to set forward on her over her shoulders. I just like to make her better in her top line, give her more angulation in that shoulder, make her more feminine.
El ejemplar en quinto lugar es un ejemplar que sin duda le gustaría verlo un poquito más balanceado, más equilibrado en su parte anterior, especialmente la inserción del cuello hacia los hombros. Tiene una cabeza muy pequeña, pero gustaría verlo el cuello más largo y la inserción del cuello hacia la jiba para que se viera mejor.
Real strong, very powerful built female comes next. That entry number 27, when she comes into the arena, she does have a lot of rib shape and capacity to her, just gets a little heavy in those shoulders, like to make the angulation a little bit better, make her more feminine.
El ejemplar en sexto lugar es un ejemplar que tiene mucho volumen, mucha capacidad, pero le gustaría verla un poquito más balanceada y más limpia en los hombros para verla más femenina al frente.
Then we end the class with some very functional females, heifers that just need a shot more muscle and power to compete any higher today.
Los últimos dos lugares, ejemplares funcionales, pero simplemente necesitan más poder, más volumen y capacidad para competir contra los anteriores.
Congratulations.
Felicidades a los creadores.
Gracias, señores.
Winners for you guys. We have some winners for you. So in first place, as you listen to the judge, was the Ganaderia Rosa del Alba. Ganaderia Rosa del Alba had a Mr. Laureano daughter, and that is going to be Mr. Laureano. Everyone will remember, I took photos of that bull. He's absolutely beautiful. He was a two-time national champion. I don't know if Dalton Deckert knew that. So Dalton, thank you for watching. And Jesus, ¿dónde está? ¿Dónde está Jesus? No mirar usted. And Jose Manuel Gochicoa is watching with us, and Randall Jackson is watching with us. So guys, thanks for watching. Again, that very first place winner in class number 5 was a Laureano daughter. That, of course, is owned by Ganaderia Rosa del Alba, the beautiful Rosie. And that was going to be out of a Ganaderia Rosa del Alba Sultana del Alba, and that is a Mr. Jarco daughter. And in second place, we had the Marco Barba of Ganaderia San Jose entry. That was going to be a JDH Sir Ernest Manso, and then on the bottom side out of the JDH Riley de Manso that he uses really strongly. So we are now coming in for our class number 6. We're on class number 6 right now. Class number 6. So that was class number 5 that we just finished. Class number 6, just a touch smaller, and that is going to have an entry of El Palmar. El Palmar has a Noble daughter. That's the Noble V8 458/7. And we also have Aguacatilla La Victoria. That's going to be a VL Rojo Designer 2/75 daughter. And on the bottom side, the Mr. Rosario Magnum 312/9, which of course is the Ganaderia El Rosario there in Nicaragua. I loved that bull, loved taking photos of him. And then La Herradura is coming in the 3rd spot. That's going to be a JDH Mr. Fulton Manso daughter out of a JDH Mr. Jojo Manso, which of course carries that brand of Steve Hudgens, of course all the Hudgens. And then La Herradura also has a Becton daughter, and on the bottom side
JDH Roma Manso. And then Las Prietas, and that is going to be a Mr. Caposo daughter, and then on the bottom side out of a Criadora Lastro bred female. So these are our next set of cattle here that we will be watching. And again, thank you to all our sponsors, and want to let everyone know that the ABBA Field Day will be held March 1st. We're talking about some fun events that can happen during Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. So Rosie de Vargas and Jesus, you might need to know all these really cool things. So let's see if I can get this up in the comments myself. We're going to ask Iran to go mute for just a moment. Okay, I was muted, so we're going to start over there. The ABBA International Field Day will be held March 1st. That will be the day before the Houston Female Show, and it will be held at Heritage Cattle Company. And I bet you we can probably get Maciel to write that for us in Spanish and invite all our Spanish-speaking guests to that event, because it is for our international guests, as well as if Maciel, if you would write us an invitation for the Rio Ranch also, that would be spectacular, because Iran's a little busy here running the cameras. And Charlie Eaton is watching with us, and Cliff is watching. Thank you so much. And for those of you who are here today, the ABBA is sponsoring our lunch. So thank you to the ABBA for sponsoring the lunch. And again, don't forget, we'll be putting up all the dates, and make sure you go to BrahmanEvent.com if you want to learn about what is exciting happening in the Brahman world. So these are some really nice cattle. It looks like he's kind of figuring out which way he wants to go. I have a feeling Miss Gayla Colors is watching with us, and I think she probably knows that we are in good hands with Judd Colors as the judge. So we look like we are looking at number 40 in first. I can't see that placard on the second place. Cannot see the second place's placard yet. Maung Win, you're watching with us. Not sure where you're watching from, but thank you so much. And who is, okay, so we have 40.
Really nice
we have
balanced
42.
heifer class. One that when you look at her from her front to her rear, she's extremely balanced through her forerib, through the center portion of her body, and out of that rear flank.
Un ejemplar muy balanceado al principio de esta clase, un ejemplar que si lo ven desde su costillar anterior es muy balanceado el costillar intermedio y sigue ese balance hasta la parte posterior con buena musculatura.
She's a heifer that has a very nice hump design, nice hump placement right above her shoulders. She's very long and extended, very feminine through her front end.
Tiene muy buena colocación de jiba de buen tamaño, es femenina y con buena longitud de cuello y extendida hacia el frente.
Nice female standing in second place, one that has a little more performance in terms of her overall weight and size. I don't think she balances up quite as nice as the heifer in first. Gets a little heavier from the point of her shoulder. She gets a little bit steeper over her rump. Just like to change her in those two areas.
Ese ejemplar en segundo lugar le gustaría verlo un poquito más balanceado tanto en la parte dorsal como la parte en la cadera, que le gustaría verla más balanceada, más cuadrada su grupa para competir con la anterior y con más potencial, más poder, más profundidad.
Really deep bodied, lots of capacity in that female standing in third. One that you'd like to just change her off of her rear legs when we put her in motion. She wants to step underneath herself just a little bit. A little more of a cow hock or sickle hock that I like to call it. She's also a little steeper over her rump when you compare her to the heifer in first and second. I think if we could just change the way that she moves, flatten her out over that hip structure, I think we'd like her much better.
El ejemplar en tercer lugar, un ejemplar que tiene bastante musculatura, profundidad y poder. Simplemente le gustaría cambiarle dos cosas. Una, la estructura de la cadera, que llenara más, que fuera más cuadrada, y la manera en cómo se desplaza en sus posteriores. Menciona que mete un poco los corvejones.
Very attractive female comes in fourth. One that's really long-sided, very balanced female. She doesn't have the overall rib shape and capacity of the three in front of her.
El ejemplar en cuarto lugar le gusta mucho el balance que muestra, pero no tiene la capacidad y musculatura que muestran los tres anteriores.
Very functional female that ends the class, very feminine quality, well-pigmented female. Just like to give her more bone and more muscle expression.
El ejemplar en quinto lugar, un ejemplar femenino balanceado, simplemente le gustaría verlo con más musculatura y más hueso para competir contra los anteriores.
Congratulations.
Un fuerte aplauso para los creadores.
Okay, so that was a very exciting class, and we're getting ready to move into the championship drive, And so in first place, we had the number 40. Am I correct? Number 40 was first, correct? Yeah. And that was the Herradura entry. That is going to be a JDH Mr. Fulton Manso daughter out of a JDH Mr. Jojo Manso daughter. And then in second place, we had the FPC El Palmar entry. That's going to be a noble daughter. That's going to be the BRC Mr. V8 458/7. And then on the bottom side, out of a JDH Joshua Manso daughter, we're getting ready to come in, I believe, am I correct? We're coming in with the championship drive. Is that correct? Okay, so coming in for championship drive, we're going to have coming in from that very first class. Our very first class is going to be the entry for El Palmar. El Palmar entry is going to be a Mr. V8 191/7 daughter. And at first place in the second class is going to be the JSM Miss Carmelita. I'm sorry. Yes, JSM Miss Carmelita. That's going to be the Santo Domingo. Remember that first and second in that class? That first and second, those were full siblings. So we have what, class 5, 6, 7?
4, 5, 6.
4, 5, 6. Okay, we're in 4, 5, 6. So that is our first place winner in our very first class. You can see it up on the screen. And in our second class, I skipped a class here. Oh, wrong. Sorry, guys. I went back too many classes in my book. Okay, so our class number 4 entry was the Woodson daughter out of, was the Woodson daughter out of a JDH Mr. Manso daughter. In our second class, we had the Ganaderia Rosa del Alba. So in our second class winner, we had our Ganaderia Rosa del Alba. That, of course, was a hard-fought class. That is going to be a Mr. Laureano daughter. And, of course, Mr. Laureano was 2-time national champion in Mexico. And that is out of a Jericho Red. And Jericho Red, if I remember correctly, was also a national champion. So we're talking national champion top and bottom there on that Ganaderia Rosa del Alba, who participated in our Brahman Selecto sale last night, which was just an amazing sale. Amazing, amazing. Really appreciate all the breeders from Brahman Selecto. We'll run through those breeders here shortly and thank them personally. And then in our last class, that's going to be class number 6, we had the La Herradura entry. That is going to be the JDH Mr. Fulton Manso daughter. And then on that bottom side, out of a JDH Mr. Jojo Manso female. So those are our first place winners in all of those classes. And we really appreciate our team back at Brahman Journal. Team is putting in all of these great first and second place entries. So thank you, thank you. Really appreciate you guys doing that. And of course, thank you to our team. Also, we want to invite you guys to the El Día de Campo Internacional de Ababaa. Fue el marzo, el primero día de marzo. Es un día antes de show de Hembras de Houston in Heritage Cattle Company. So my Spanish is not really great, but make sure you are there. ABBA International Field Day, March 1st, the day before the Houston Female Show. Of course, the show itself is March 2nd and 3rd. We want everyone to be there. And this is the Becerra division. As you can see, this is Campeona Becerra that we are here watching. Joy Colors Wilson
Another
for
really
watching.
good
Let's listen.
Our division champion. I think we've got 6 high-quality females in the arena.
Otro excelente grupo de ejemplares, esos ejemplares 6 excelentes dentro de la pista para esta calificación.
I think when you look down through these females, there's some things about these females where you could really reach out and grab any 3 of these females for our division winner. I think it depends on where you put your emphasis as a judge and as a cattle breeder.
Menciona que en este momento cualquiera de esos 3 ejemplares que están al frente podrían ser seleccionados por cada uno de ustedes para campeona de esta clase. Todo depende del enfoque, del énfasis que estén buscando en una de las cualidades.
In this particular lineup, I think I've got one female that's just really, really long-sided. She's very smooth and she's very balanced.
Menciona que en este grupo tenemos un ejemplar que sí sobresale, que es muy bien balanceada, es muy largo y está muy bien balanceada y muy suave.
She's going to come out of the oldest class. She'll be our division winner, entry number 40.
Y este es el ejemplar que está en la parte posterior, que será la campeona de esta clase.
We have a winner. So entry number 40 out of the last class, that is going to be our champion. So that was our champion. That is going to be the La Herradura entry. And then coming in for reserve consideration is going to be that El Palmar entry. The El Palmar entry is coming in for reserve consideration. That is going to be a noble daughter. That is going to be a Mr. V8 458.
Nice
Noble.
female, that heifer, one that we talked about her in class. Like to see her a little bit stronger right behind her hump, maybe give her a better angulation into her shoulders, but a very high quality, lots of performance in that female.
Un excelente ejemplar que entró como segundo lugar de ese mismo grupo, que ya la habló en su clase, que le gustaría verlo con un poquito más de fortaleza detrás de su grupo, un poquito mejor fortaleza también en sus corvejones, pero de gran calidad el ejemplar.
I think it gets a little bit closer in this for our reserve division. The heifer that I like the best is one that I just think she's just a little more balanced. She's really nice in her hump placement, good pigmentation, well muscled. She'll be the youngest calf, and that'll be our reserve calf.
Y menciona que los 2 ejemplares que tiene al frente son un poquito más balanceadas. Le gustaría ir por aquel ejemplar que tiene mejor su gira, que está más pigmentada y tiene un mejor balance.
And out of that very first class, we have our champion. Out of the very first class, it's going to be our reserve champion. Our reserve champion is going to be the Santo Domingo entry. Santo Domingo, that's going to be the JDH Woodson de Manso daughter out of JDH Mr. Manso. So again, our reserve champion is going to be the winner out of class number 4, which is going to be this one right here. That is going to be the entry of Santo Domingo. And again, very interesting that first and second in that class, though the judge does not know it, Jesus, or Saddam, or Selena, the judge does not know what the breeding is on any of these. He only gets to see like the weights or the age, that type thing. That's what he knows. But those were full siblings. So full siblings were in that very first class of the Becerra division. And the girls go scrambling to the backdrop to go take some photos. And we are here in the arena, and the reserve champion again was placard number 19 if you're following along with your catalog. So again, thank you guys. And Rio Ranch Brahmin Social, March 4th, 2023. We want to make sure everybody is invited there. And of course, also to that really super great ABBA International Field Day, March 1st, the day before the female show in Heritage Cattle Company. And let's just have Ron invite you guys in Spanish.
Les invitamos a todos a que vayan al Día de Campo Internacional de la ABBA, que será el 1 de marzo de 2023, un día antes del show de hembras de Houston en Heritage Cattle Company.
And also we have a lunch that is being sponsored by the ABBA today here in Mexico for all the breeders. What do you think about that, Ron?
Suena perfecto, a mí estoy seguro que vamos a comer muy rico hoy, todo gracias a la asociación de la ABBA, de la ABA como la conocemos aquí en México. Muchas gracias a ellos que nos están patrocinando la comida.
Absolutely. We really want to thank the ABBA for being here and being supportive of everything. And of course, we could not do it without all of our sponsors. I'm going to see if Iran can do a little, we're going to do a little, few little things here and see what we can do. Hope you guys are watching and having a good time. We're going to go mute for just a second. Okay, we went sound off for just a little while. We have people watching from all over the place. Let us know where you're watching from. We have people from Saudi Arabia. We have people Costa Rica, Honduras, Thailand, Bangladesh, USA, everywhere. So thank you guys so much for watching. We really, really do appreciate everything you do. And we could not do this without our really awesome sponsors. We have some great sponsors and we would like to thank them. That is going to be Elgin Breeding Service, which, as Mandy reminded me, there's a really great article about them and all that they do. And they do everything. They collect not just bulls, they collect water buffalo and deer and sheep, and all the world champions all over the world respect Elgin Breeding Service and use them. So it's very, very, they're just an awesome company. And I'm going to say, yeah, that's a little tight there. And then we also have Rio Ranch. We have Rio Ranch as one of our sponsors. We got backwards, didn't we, Ron? Hate that when that happens. There we go. Okay, Rio Ranch, and as we said, they're having their field day on March 4th. So Rio Ranch, everyone is invited. And then another sponsor here is Rancho Chapapote. Rancho Chapapote is one of the top breeders for gray Brahman champions here in Mexico. They do a tremendous job. They don't have very many cattle here this show because they live in the A zone and they cannot take the cattle that are here back to the A zone. So they did have some really nice cattle selling the other day in this Brahman Selecto sale. And then J.D. Hudgens, of course, is one of our sponsors. We would like to thank J.D. Hudgens, Inc. They have a really fun event planned during the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, and then also their wind down event. So you can go to their wind down event on Saturday morning, look through their sale pens, look through their cattle, have a little wine, get a little social, and then Rio Ranch will have transportation available to get you to Hempstead, Texas, to Rio Ranch, where they have just some beautiful cattle. And then, of course, did we get, oh, I would like to show up Brahman Selecta. We have one of those down at the very bottom. We have all the breeders from Brahman Selecta. We would like to thank all of the breeders from the Brahman Selecto sale. We'll put them up. We'll also probably ask to have that put up in the comments. That would be wonderful to have that put up in the comments too. And so the Brahman Selecto was Rancho El Caposo, Rancho El Aguacatilla. They have some great cattle here. You're looking at the ones with the Circle 4, and the Circle 4 with the line under it is the El Aguacatilla La Victoria. Los Naranjos, they are a red breeder, and they've sponsored our red show. Catrenta 30, Rancho Catrenta is the K30 brand. Ganaderia Rosa del Alba. Of course, they have that beautiful brand and that you can look for. You can see it right there, small on your screen. Rancho Chapapote, Ganaderia Santa Fe, which Jorge Diaz was watching from maybe here, maybe back in the Yucatan. I don't know. I saw him here last night. Rancho El Dorado, that's our good friend Luis Salinas. Those are the Brahman Selecto group, and then they had some invited guests. They had Criadora Lastra, Santo Domingo, Buena Vista, Uberaba, El Taray. I just can't do that. Las Huastecas and El Recon. El Taray. Taray. Okay. Anyway, there you go. And back here, we are in the very first class of the Joven Menor, the gray show. We are in Joven Menor. And these are going to be females that are 16 and 17 months old. 16 and 17 months old. And in here, what we have, breeder-wise, we have El Porvenir, Tres Hermanos, El Taray. I got it. Yay, El Taray. Ganaderia Montebello Reforma, Brahman Mexico Centro, and Finca La Chapaneca.
What is it?
Bottom one. Chiapaneca. I was close. Chiapaneca. There you go. I was close. So we're looking at cattle that are sired by the Noble, the Mr. V8 458, from top to bottom. Watch along with your catalog, guys. Mr. V8 458/7, that of course is BRC Noble. Then HRG Benito, which is a Becton son.
Mr. WCC Maximus Rojo. Maximus Rojo, that's going to be the entry of El Taray. And I have a little bit of information, I think, maybe on that one. I saw Stuart Watkins. Stuart Watkins was here yesterday. I'm sure he is here today. And he, of course, is the owner of the WCC Maximus Rojo, which sired the entry wearing placard number 49. And that is going to be the 2310. So she is a female that is a daughter of the WCC Maximus, and she is out of the El Taray female that was champion of the breed at the Expo Regional in Jalisco in 2019. So kind of information, kind of cool backstory on all of these. And then, of course, we have a JDH Sir Elliot Manso daughter, a JDH Carew Manso daughter, a JDH Wellington Manso daughter, and another Becton daughter. So some great breeders here. Judd Colors, of course, is our judge here with us today. Carlos Alberto, thank you for watching with us. And Fabio Yaramil, you're watching. Thank you so much for watching. And Enrique Lopez Salazar, thank you for watching with us. Exactly, and don't miss out. We have all kinds of events planned. So don't miss out on them. You will want to make sure you come to the J.D. Hudgens Wind Down event, March 4th, 2023. And then, of course, you can move right along into that Rio Ranch. Rio Ranch has their social in the afternoon. So we have lots of fun things to do. And Judd Colors is our judge also at Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo at our international show. So, again, don't miss some of these really great events. And we really do want to thank all of our sponsors and all of you guys for watching with us. Again, let us know where you're watching from and what you think. Are you guys checking those posts that are getting ready to go out? Because I am not. She's asking. It definitely takes a team to do this. Yes, ma'am. Uh-huh. She's very pretty.
She is very pretty.
Yes.
She has big ears too.
Oh, she had big ears. There you go. That's okay. We're talking. We're talking about how pretty we like all the cattle, how they're just amazing to look at. And the team here is amazing. We have our team here. We have, the poor guys are bored out of their minds. You know, if they want to they don't have to
They can help Andre.
yeah, they could help hand out some magazines. Yeah.
They can help Andre.
They could help Andre hand out some magazines if they want to, move around a little bit. I think we're okay now that we're in these older classes. I think the cameras will be fine. Yeah. And if you see someone running towards a camera, we'll just cringe. We'll just cringe and go with it. So, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, we are so glad to be here. And thank you guys for everybody for sharing our feed. This is so awesome. We really love that when that happens. Can you mute me? All right, so we are back and we are talking to all our friends. Fabio Yaramil, thank you for watching. And Carlos Alberto Gonzalez Barba, thank you for watching. Enrique Lopez Salazar, and Carlos McDonald. Carlitos, I am so disappointed. But I mean, I'm happy too. I will not be coming to Ishmaquil. Iran will be covering Ishmaquil. Iran will be covering Ishmaquil because I will be in Guatemala for the national show. So I will be in Guatemala for the national show and I will miss you. But I tell you what, I will text you the next time I'm coming to Merida and we will have to do lunch because I understand you're back in Merida. So absolutely. Let's listen to the...
We've got a real high of some females in this group. I think the heifer we have standing in first and second are really exceptional females.
Tenemos una gran calidad de ejemplares, especialmente en este primer y segundo lugar, gran calidad de ejemplares en calidad.
I think when you look at that female on the front that wins the class, I think you just see a lot of really maternal power in that female.
Si vemos el ejemplar en el primer lugar, vemos un ejemplar con bastante poder maternal.
She's a really wide-based female. She stands on a good circumference of bone, extremely long-sided, lots of capacity and muscle.
Es muy amplia desde su base, tiene bastante amplitud en su pecho, tiene bastante musculatura y aparte tiene bastante profundidad.
Really nice heifer standing in second place. I like the thickness and the muscularity of this female. When you stand behind her, she's really wide through the center portion of her hindquarter.
El ejemplar en segundo lugar menciona que es un ejemplar con mucha musculatura y mucha capacidad, especialmente cuando te paras atrás de ella, en la parte central se ve la musculatura en todo su lomo, mucha profundidad.
I think equally as the heifer we have standing in first, she's a female that's got some capacity to her. Where I would like to change this female is her overall rib shape. The ribs don't come out of her body in the round fashion that I see in the heifer standing in first. She's a little flatter in the side in terms of her rib shape and overall spring of ribs and volume, but she's a really, really attractive female.
Si algo le gustaría cambiarle sería la forma en cómo expresa su parte del costillar, que no salgan de la caja torácica. Menciona que si son planas, si son amplias, si está profunda, muestra musculatura, pero en la forma como está estructurada su costillar es en cómo le gana en la primera a la segunda.
Beautiful little heifer standing in third place. Just a nice balanced heifer, nice hump placement, nice down her top line, well muscle female.
Un ejemplar en tercer lugar muy bien balanceado, muy femenina, muy bien colocada lo que es su jiba, con buen balance, musculatura y femenina al frente.
I'd like to change this female off of her hind feet. She's got one foot on the right side that rolls out pretty severe. I think if we could just correct that, we'd like her much better.
Si algo le gustaría cambiarle simplemente sería en su posterior derecho, que lo gire un poquito al apoyarlo. Sería la única parte que le pondría un pero.
And we have a long-sided, very attractive female standing in fourth place, one that has some springer rib and some muscle.
Tenemos el cuarto lugar, un ejemplar con muy buen desarrollo, con buen desarrollo de costilla y musculatura.
Just like to change her over her rump and her hip just a little bit. When you watch her move, not quite as attractive the way she handles her hind legs in comparison to the three heifers in front.
Simplemente le gustaría cambiarle un poquito la estructura de la grupa y de la cadera, y esto de la misma manera hace que no se desplace tan bien como los anteriores.
Got some functional female coming next, females that just need a shot more power and bone and dimension when you compare them to the four females in front.
El quinto lugar simplemente necesita más poder, más balance y más musculatura funcional para competir contra los anteriores.
Two good females in this class. Congratulations.
Excelentes dos ejemplares al borde de la clase, los primeros dos, con felicitaciones para ellos.
Gracias, señor juez. Para el grupo número 7, el primer lugar corresponde a la placa 56 de Daudet Asmitia Ortega.
Okay, so in first place we have a winner, and that is going to be the Finca La Chiapaneca. And that is going to be a JDH Becton de Manso daughter out of a San Jose bred female, which of course is going to be that Riley Obalengo. So again, congratulations to both of the breeder of the animal as well as the Marco Barba for having bred that help sire the female. And then in second place, we're going to have our good friends, the Hermanos Pelaez Perez. That's El Porvenir. You're going to see them in the winner's circle quite a bit probably this weekend. And that is going to be a BRC Noble daughter, which of course he is a son of JDH Mr. Elmo Manso. And then on that bottom side, out of a Miss Tabasco female, which of course is their brand, HPE, and that is a JDH Woodson DeManso daughter. So those are the winners in class number 7. Those are the winners in class number 7. And again, we want to thank everybody. I think we've got those. We can throw them up on the screen. So our class number 7 winner. Our class number 7 winner right there is going to be a Becton daughter. And then on second place was going to be the HPP, our good friends at El Porvenir. And that is going to be a BRC, Mr. B8, 458/7 daughter. So thank you. And thanks, guys, for watching from everywhere. We have so many people watching. We have Diego Gonzalez, Marin Perez. We have Jose Alfredo Arellano Jaimes. We have Carlos Gusser. Thank you, guys. And I think we have some people watching from Thailand and Bangladesh. I know we had Saudi Arabia earlier this morning. Jerry Stevens, thanks for watching with us. Mandarin, thanks to you for watching with us. Francisco, thank you for watching. Gracias por... ¿Cómo? Vernos. Gracias por vernos. Gracias por vernos. And we're going to have, coming in this next class, we're going to have, this is going to be class number 8. We have Finca La Chiapaneca, San Jose Francion, Tres Hermanos, El Refugio, El Porvenir. And as far as the sires go, we're going to see a lot of JDH, which we would like to thank, of course, JD Hudgens for being one of our sponsors here, JD Hudgens Inc. They also have a great event on they're going to have a fun event during a social hour during Houston, but then also they're going to have their wind down event. Their wind down event is held on the Saturday after the judging. And again, Judd Colors is our judge here. He is our judge in Houston. The first animal is going to be a JDH Becton DeManso daughter and out of a JDH Wellington Manso female. The second entry in this class is a Wellington Manso daughter, and on the bottom side is going to be a San Jose bred female. Then our third female is going to be a Mr. V8 700/3, and on the bottom side is going to be a JDH Jose Manso. The fourth female is going to be a PPP Mr. Vergal daughter, and then all of that same breeding along. Of course, the paternal grandfather is going to be a JDH Mr. Manso. And then the very last female, the HPE, the Hermanos Pelaez Escamilla, El Porvenir, that is going to be a JDH Mr. Jojo Manso daughter out of a JDH Wellington Manso female. So some really great females here. I know Danielle earlier was asking about a few things. He was asking about weight, and the weights on these animals are going to be anywhere from 538 kilograms to 586 kilograms. Muy buen día, ¿sí? Oh, okay. Getting all this information now. Oh, that's Catrenta, okay. Pamela, thank you for watching with us, and we want to thank our sponsors. So Pamela, you will know who our sponsors are. Our sponsors are going to be Elgin Breeding Service. Elgin Breeding Service, they have a great article in the October magazine about all the different breeds that they collect semen on and all that they do. So we really appreciate Elgin Breeding Service. A lot of breeders from all around the world use them. And of course, JD Hudgens, who needs really no
introduction in the Brahman world, J.D. Hudgens Inc. They're going to be having some fun events during Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. You will not want to miss those, Pamela. And then, of course, Rancho Chapapote, a breeder here in Mexico, one of the top breeders of gray Brahman champions. And we really appreciate their support here for this live stream of the Gray Show. We also have all of our photos are free, and we will be putting in the comments and also on our Facebook where to go to get those free photos. If you see something you like here, you can get one of their photos. And if you just own the animal or just see an animal you like, you can go find a photo on BrahmanPhotos.com. And then, of course, Rio Ranch.
One much like the heifer that we just saw in the previous class, a really wide-based female, tremendous amount of spring of ribs and internal dimension and muscle.
Un ejemplar muy poderoso al principio de la clase, no tan poderoso como el que vimos en la clase anterior, pero con bastante musculatura y bastante profundidad.
Really like the hump placement of this female. She's really long. When you get behind her, she's really wide through her hindquarters, and she carries that muscle down well into her hind leg.
Y le gusta mucho la colocación de la jiba de ese ejemplar y cómo se desarrolla su musculatura desde esa parte del lomo hasta su parte posterior y cómo baja la musculatura hasta su tren posterior, hasta sus corvejones.
Real balanced female standing in second. This is the kind of female you can do a lot of things with in terms of which bulls you breed her to. She's a smaller frame female, but one that has a tremendous amount of muscle and length of body.
El segundo ejemplar es un ejemplar con el que puedes hacer bastantes cosas en el sentido de que puedes escoger muchas diferencias de toros, talla muy moderada, con mucho balance, con mucha fortaleza, pero también con mucha musculatura.
Female in second, just not quite as long and attractive from her shoulders forward. She was a little shorter in her neck. Just like to change that about her, make her more feminine when you compare her to the heifer that wins the class.
Si algo le gustaría cambiarle simplemente sería en la longitud del cuello hacia el frente, la inserción de los hombros para que fuera más femenina y compitiera con el primer lugar.
Real attractive, very feminine heifer comes in third. Female that I'd like to just change her right behind her hump, give her just a little more width through the back and loin, make her a little stronger and level her right in behind her hump.
El ejemplar en tercer lugar, un ejemplar muy femenino al frente, muy limpio, pero simplemente le gustaría cambiar la disposición en cómo se enlaza la jiba con las primeras costillas para que fuera más fortaleza en el lomo a la altura de la cuarta costilla.
And then in fourth and fifth place, very functional females. Both of these heifers are really not attractive females. They're just in here with some really powerful individuals, but both of these are nice breeding pieces.
El cuarto y quinto lugar, ejemplares balanceados, poderosos, pero simplemente no tienen el poder, la capacidad que tienen los anteriores, pero son ejemplares valiosos para desarrollar en la raza. Un fuerte aplauso para estos primeros lugares.
Muchas gracias. Para el octavo grupo, el primer lugar corresponde a la placa 69 de Hermanos Peláez Escamilla. El segundo lugar a la placa 62 de Daudet Asmitia Ortega. Tercer lugar, la placa 63 de Rayleigh Barba Morales. Cuarto lugar, la placa 66 de Platanera y Ganadera El Refugio. Y quinto lugar para la placa 65 de Agropecuaria Río del Tulija. Nos vamos con el grupo número 9, un grupo numeroso. Participan los ejemplares 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 78, 79, 82, 83, 84 y 85. Son 11 ejemplares que van a entrar en este grupo.
That was the Class 8 that we just finished, correct? Yes, and we want to talk about who was first and who was second there. So first in that last class, which I think maybe Iran had helped you talk about just a little bit, first in our last class was the El Porvenir entry, and that was class number 8. So right now we're in class number 9, but that was class number 8 was a JDH Mr. Jojo Manso daughter out of a JDH Wellington Manso. And let's look back in our catalog and see, yeah, okay. So this was first.
We need to stop. We lost internet.
Okay.